Why? I've been trying to keep the introduction shorter in the last couple of videos, but before I show you this one, I want to talk a little bit about the Rode Wireless Go 2 microphone system. Why? Well, it turns out it had a big effect on this episode, as well as the next one. So I want to start off by explaining in short why it is the way that it is. Just bear with me, it'll make sense in a bit. Now, this is not a sponsored video in any way, but these things are usually a really nifty little piece of kit, and they've saved my ass many times due to their built-in backup recording feature in the transmitter. How? Well, they both transmit the audio signal from the mic unit to record internally in camera or whatever you plug the receiver into, but it also records a backup audio track in the actual transmitter itself. So if you, for whatever reason, fail to capture sound, you can just download it straight off the mic unit and sync it up in post-production. Which I've done. More than once. So even though I've enjoyed using them, and still do, it hasn't always been a smooth and fully pleasant experience. Like in this episode, for instance, where they just would not sync up, essentially meaning I couldn't use them at all. And the only way to fix the issue would be plugging them into a computer to update the firmware. But I didn't bring my laptop, so they're pretty much just dead weight at this point. Very annoying. And all that technical mumbo-jumbo I just said serves as a segue to explain that this episode will not really have a voice track shot on location, apart from whatever the camera's absolutely terrible internal mics manage to pick up. Instead, you'll get to hear a lot of wind noise and such. Yay. But I promise, it's still, subjectively, a very watchable episode. I hope. So please stay seated and let's go. In early June of 2022, or last summer at the time of putting this episode together, me and Emma went on a little long weekend retreat to a random hotel in Östermalm near central Stockholm to get some much needed change of scenery. I brought my beloved Canon FTb, 2 lenses, and a couple of rolls of Kodak Gold 200. The main purpose of this little trip wasn't photography per se, but since Emma is such a trooper, she was more than willing to accompany me with the Lumix G9 to shoot on location A and B roll, as well as taking photos for her own benefit, of course. So, we just got to the hotel, and we're on the 7th floor, the top floor. Pretty nice view, and we brought cameras. So tomorrow morning we'll probably go out and snap some photos.
Jag är expert på det här.
We got to the hotel in late afternoon, went out to grab a bite to eat and explore said part of the city for a bit. We then went back to the hotel to get the cameras and venture out for a little evening shoot. Nice room. Pretty small, but it'll do. Nice acoustics. Okay, so we're getting audio from my phone, hopefully, because you are too far away from me. It's the evening. Time is it? 7? 7:30? Might as well go out. And for that, I want to bring my trusty old FTb. We're on the 85 again, but it's just because I like it so much. I've already used this combination before, the video before the one last time. Kodak Gold 200. I honestly wish it was 400. This was obviously before I figured out how to push film, or I could have just shot it at 400. But whatever. Moving on. Shot 0. Next one is shot number 1. This for safety. Skadooch. Then probably won't be needing this, but let's bring it just in case. Alright. Should be alright. I'm ready. Are you ready behind the camera? No reaction. And out we went. Just next to the hotel was a residential area surrounding a nice little park with interesting looking trees and a fountain. I really like the semi-punchy sunset colors coming off this film stock. And I guess the photos aren't too bad either. Decent framing and the comps are quite non-Swedish looking, which adds an exotic touch. But I guess that only applies if you actually live here and know what the city normally looks like, so never mind. This building in particular reminds me of my old neighborhood from when I used to live in Sydney, Australia. In Potts Point back in 06-07 to be precise. Good times. And as you're about to experience, I found it worthy of a whole bunch of photos throughout this roll. This is a pretty cool shot, I guess. I'm not sure where that light comes from, but I'm guessing it's a glare from the sun bouncing off a window or something. And here's that round building again, from a slightly different perspective. And again. And once more, with a sweet bonus in the shape of a sun star at the bottom. Nice. Nice. I'm not too sure about this one though. The shadow fall off texture on the facade is pretty cool, but the light posts are annoying and I can't make up my mind about whether I like the dude on the scooter or not. Yeah, told ya. Are you sick of it yet? Are you sure? No. I struggle to find a single thing I like about this photo, but here it is. Feel free to laugh, I understand. Or maybe you disagree? No? No, I didn't think so.
Hela byggnaden där bak är jättesuddig. Eller nej, randig.
Weird framing. I mean, it's like the uncanny valley of architectural photography. Just slightly off, but in so many areas. Well. This next shot is quite possibly one of my absolute favorite photos ever. I can't really explain it. You might look at it and not understand why, but there's something about it I'm just in love with. The deep greens, the details and reflections on the leaves, colors, balance, and well, pretty much everything. The framing is ever so slightly off, but I honestly don't really care. You may disagree and that's fine. I mean, you'd be wrong. But you know, you're wrong. Unless you love it, of course. Then you're right. And to completely erase any misconceptions of me actually being a decent photographer, here's that round building again. Twice. Alright, everyone always says to end on a high note, so I guess this is as good a place as any. Tune in next week for the edge of your seat type resolution to all the drama that you're yet to experience through my eyes. Or lens. Man, I'm rambling. Sorry, but subscribe. And like the video if you liked the video. And share it with your friends, unless you hated it of course, then feel free to tell your foes, I guess. In case it wasn't clear, what you just saw was part 1 of 2. So if I don't see you back here next week, we're gonna have a problem. Alright, head up. The main purpose of this little trip wasn't photographer. Dude, learn how to fucking talk. Nice. Can't make up my mind about, and I cannot make up my mind, and I cannot make up my mind. And I cannot make up my mind. Why is this so hard? Alright, everyone always says to end on a high note, so I guess this is as good as a place to... Alright, everyone always says to end... Alright, everyone always says to end on a high note, so I guess this is as good as place as...